HendrickCars.com pace truck, Richmar Flores pace truck out there. We're going green the next time by. Christopher Bell and Brad Sweet in row 1. Aaron Reutzel and Rico Abreu in row number 2. Danny Dietrich and Anthony Macri in row 3. Corey Day and Brock Zearfoss in row 4. Tyler Ross and Brett Marks in row number 5. Danny Sams and Chase Dietz in row 6. Row 7, Lucas Wolfe and Spencer Bayston. Row 8, Ryan Smith and Brenham Crouch. Row 9 is Tanner Thorson and Cy Lynch. Row 10 is Justin Peck and Chase Randall. Then Ryan Taylor, Ryan Newton, Ashton Torgerson, Dason Pursley, Tyler Courtney, Casey Kahne. Grandview Speedway, we got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing up at turn number 4. We are green. Rolling through 1 and 2. The feature is underway at Grandview. Christopher Bell with the lead down the back straightaway. Brad Sweet in the second spot. A race for third belongs to the 87 of Aaron Reutzel, but across the line, Rico Abreu trying to look to the inside, cannot make the pass. Reutzel's got third into turn 1. Rico Abreu runs in fourth. Now Abreu to the inside of Reutzel down the back straightaway. That is a move for Abreu on the bottom. He'll take the spot away off of turn number 4. Rico Abreu to third. The 2023 Grandview winner now up to the third spot. Reutzel slips to fourth, and fifth at this point in time is Danny Dietrich. Up front, Christopher Bell setting the pace, but Brad Sweet not too far back behind him. Traffic already on the same straightaway as your race leader. Bell is going to be in traffic within the first 5 laps of the feature here at Grandview. Ashton Torgerson, Dason Pursley, and Tyler Courtney all lie ahead. Christopher Bell choosing the inside, make that the middle portion of the racetrack. Brad Sweet down on the bottom, and Rico Abreu is trying to track down your top 2. Bell now on the same straightaway and almost into the lap traffic as he rolls into turn 1. Christopher Bell on the top. Brad Sweet runs the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Bell's got to start making some moves here. Ashton Torgerson goes to the bottom, leaves the high line open for Christopher Bell. Cannot make the pass there. Now Sweet to the inside, cannot make the pass. Across the line, 6 in and 29 to go. Bell trying to get by Torgerson. Down the back stretch, he'll get side by side with the lap car and make the move on him. Brad Sweet will have to follow suit. Here comes Rico Abreu. Abreu to the inside of Sweet off of turn number 4. Cannot make the pass for second as they roll back into turn 1. Heavy race, or heavy traffic for your race leader. Down the backstretch, Christopher Bell makes his way by the number 9 of Casey Kahne. Sweet still hasn't gotten by Ashton Torgerson. Sweet almost into the wall. Rico Abreu goes by for second. Abreu takes the second spot away. A rare mistake there from the Napa Auto Parts number 49. It cost him that second spot. Now Abreu in the back pocket of Bell down the back straightaway. The former teammates with Keith Coons Motorsports gonna race it out at Grandview Speedway for the win. Bell now to the inside of Dason Pursley, makes his way by the number 13. Rico to the bottom, pulls up next to Bell. They're side by side for the race lead. Rico Abreu to the top spot down the back straightaway. Rico Abreu takes the spot away on lap number 9. This time by 10 complete and 25 to go. Christopher Bell slips to second, but Abreu still in heavy traffic with Casey Kahne, Ryan Newton, and Ryan Taylor up ahead. Bell trying to track him back down. Brad Sweet still has not gotten by Ashton Torgerson. Now makes the move on the 1A into turn 3. Top 3, no lap cars between them. Rico Abreu tries to work through the middle of the outside of Casey Kahne. He'll get by the Hendrick cars number 9. Kahne fights back on the inside. Here comes Christopher Bell. Bell trying to track him back down, but Abreu makes the pass on Kahne and also gets by Ryan Newton in the process. Good move right there. 2 for the price of 1 for Abreu. 2 lap cars between the 24 and the 69K. Back behind, Brad Sweet still running in third. Danny Dietrich has moved his way to fourth. He got by Aaron Reutzel, as has Macri. Macri's into the top 5 in the 39M. Rico Abreu, an absolutely torrent pace being put up by that Mesilla Valley Transportation number 24, trying to go back-to-back in the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series. Makes his way by on the inside of Ryan Smith, and there are now 3 cars between your first and second place machines. Christopher Bell underneath of Ryan Newton can't make the pass off of turn number 2, and Brad Sweet is closing back in on the Reutzel Oval Track Parts number 69K. Danny Dietrich still running in fourth. 5th spot belongs to Macri. Then it's Reutzel, Marks, Zearfoss, Bayston, and Ross. Corey Day has pulled into the infield. His race has come to an end. Corey Day is out of this one. Race for second into turn 1. Christopher Bell around the bottom. Brad Sweet's got the top side rolling in turn 2. To the outside comes the number 49. Cannot make the pass. Bell shut the door on him. Here comes Danny Dietrich. Here comes Anthony Macri. They appear to be closing on your second and third place cars. Brad Sweet's got second across the line. Brad Sweet now into the second position. Brad Sweet back to second around the 69K of Christopher Bell. Rico Abreu still at 4 lap cars between him and Brad Sweet. Car off the pace back straightaway. Tyler Ross was running in the top 10. He pulls into the infield. Red flag, Ryan Taylor upside down. red flag comes out for Ryan Taylor in the center of turns 1 and 2. Ryan Taylor running 20th at the time after transferring in through the Winters Performance B main. And that is a huge deal for both Brad Sweet and Christopher Bell. They were over 2 seconds behind with 4 lap cars between them and the race leader, Rico Abreu. Ryan Taylor, the cause of the red flag. You're getting a look at the Harrisburg budget long-term rental number 20. Driver out of Mertztown, Pennsylvania. Ryan Taylor did not qualify for the feature here last year with Highland Racing. His best ever finish here at Grandview was a 4th place finish. That was in 2017 during PA Speed Week. See High Limit Racing Tech Director down there, Kenny Canada, looking at the situation. Also have High Limit Racing official Cody Houston down there. And Ryan Taylor, we can see him walking and out of the car in turn number 2. Ryan Taylor out of the car in turn 2. And we've got a replay coming up here, the CompCams replay. We'll see what happens to Ryan Taylor. He is getting into the wall and catches the catch fence over there and slams down on the rear end there. We'll go downstairs. Tony Laporta, he's got Ryan Taylor.
Ryan Taylor up and out of that number 20 machine. First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, we're good. Just hard hit into the outside wall, so I need to catch my breath for a second.
That race, that pace was frantic. What, from your point of view, can you remember happening?
Just a mistake on my part. The guys gave me a great car. Shout out to a friend Kyle of mine. He helped out a lot tonight. Got us pointed in the right direction. Thought we had a really nice racy race car, and obviously lap traffic is going to be a factor here quick, and the leaders are going to come. So I was just pushing the pace and made a mistake.
All right, we're glad to hear you're okay. Chase, back up to you.
Abreu will choose the bottom. Sweet top, Bell bottom, Dietrich, and then Macri, instead of going to the inside there, will follow Dietrich around the top. So that will line up Aaron Reutzel on the inside of row number 3, even though he is in the 6th position. Last couple of drivers making their way past the Frozen Farmer pick pipe. HendrickCars.com and Richmar Florist Pace Trucks pull into the infield. We're coming back to green this time by. Still halfway to go in this race at Grandview Speedway. Green lights come back on. We're back underway. Brad Sweet with a good restart. He'll go to the top side of the racetrack in 1 and 2. Gets a run on Rico Abreu down the back straight. We're going to try and point that car to the bottom. One car off the pace. It was Danny Dietrich. He's going to lose several spots down the back straightaway. Dietrich gets passed by Reutzel and Brock Zearfoss. Danny Dietrich back into about the 8th position now as Brent Marks takes advantage. Marks now up to that 8th spot in car number 19. Back up front, Brad Sweet surging around the track, trying to find some speed to catch up to the 24 of Abreu. Here comes Christopher Bell to the inside of Brad Sweet, trying to run the bottom in turn number 2. The bottom off of 2 is very, very good at this point in time. Christopher Bell now to the inside of Brad Sweet into turn 3, but Sweet pulls away off of turn number 4. Anthony Macri up into 4th on this restart and trying to be in the mix for that top 3 position. Aaron Reutzel rounds out the top 5. Then it's Brent Marks, and on the outside, here comes Spencer Bayston. Bayston has made his way up to the 7th spot now. Good run. And that number 14 for Spencer Bayston started back in the 14th position and is making his way up nicely in this main event at Grandview. Rico Abreu, this time by, his lead is 1.2 seconds over a side-by-side battle for second between the 49 of Brad Sweet and the 69 of Christopher Bell. Anthony Macri not too far back behind as well. Traffic more than likely going to play a factor in who wins this one tonight. Abreu across the line now, just 1 second is his lead. Bell to the inside, takes second away from Brad Sweet. Sweet back to the inside. He'll cross him up and take that spot back away. Sweet goes low to protect. He'll slide up the racetrack. They are all trying to catch up to Rico as he's on the back bumper of some lap cars. Ashton Torgerson, Ryan Newton, and Dason Pursley lie ahead. Brad Sweet is certainly closing the gap. That time by even with Batlow into the wall. Car into the wall right in front of your leader, Ashton Torgerson. Torgerson riding the wall in turn 4. The caution flag comes out. Ashton Torgerson was just going a lap down to Rico Abreu, got into the wall in turn 3, and then it looked like maybe the front end was broke as he just kept riding the wall all the way to turn 4. Just as things were getting interesting there as Sweet was closing the gap. Here is the comp cams replay right in front of Rico. You see Torgerson smack the wall and then kind of just rides it along there and comes to a stop in turn 4. So Ashton Torgerson does not need the hook as he is going to go to the infield with the assistance of one of the side-by-side vehicles.
Good action still going on up front right now. What a battle for the number 2 spot between Brad Sweet and Christopher Bell. Bell momentarily grabbing the number 2 spot away from Sweet, but Sweet pulled the slider, regained the spot, and lurking right behind them is the 39M of Anthony Macri, waiting for his opportunity. We were just about to hit the lap cars now when this caution light came on.
A lot of movers in this one. Tyler Courtney now into the top 10, Tony, and Tanner Thorson up to 8th. Both those guys started way back in this field.
Engine changes for both the 88 of Thorson as well as the 7 BC of Courtney. I think we're getting ready to go back, Chase.
Yep, thank you, Tony. We are back to green with 10 laps to go at Grandview Speedway. Can Brad Sweet do something here late in the going? Rico goes to the bottom in turn number 1. Christopher Bell around the outside gets a huge run on Brad Sweet. Down the backstretch, looks to the inside, takes second away. Christopher Bell back to second in turn 3. Bell up in front of Brad Sweet. Now tries to reel in the number 24 of Rico Abreu. It looked like on that last run that Bell might have a car to contend with him. Sweet back to the rear bumper of the 69K down into turn number 3. Christopher Bell right through the middle portion of the racetrack. This time by the gap between first and second is 9/10 of a second. Can Bell close in with 8 laps to go? Anthony Macri in 4th. 5th is the 87 of Aaron Reutzel, and right behind him is the 14 of Spencer Bayston. Bayston from 14th to 6th. Rico Abreu just widened out the gap a little bit to Christopher Bell. Now Abreu goes low in turn 3, leaves the high side open for Bell off of turn number 4. We'll see the lap time difference this time, 1.5 seconds. So Abreu once again putting more time between himself and the 69K. Spencer Bayston fighting with Brent Marks. Those two go side by side for the 6th spot into turn 3. Give it back to Brent Marks, but a great race going on for the number 14 of Bayston. Brad Sweet underneath of Christopher Bell. He's up to 2nd. Brad Sweet up to 2nd. And this time Mike going to have trying 4 laps to try and make something happen here and catch up to Rico Abreu. He's going to have to make up 1.7 seconds if he wants to do it, though. Traffic will be a factor at the end of this one. In the last 2 laps, Abreu will have to deal with Casey Kahne and Ryan Newton. Brad Sweet does appear to be closing in, that time by 1.1 seconds. Brad Sweet 7/10 of a second faster than Abreu the last time. They're coming up on twin sticks. 2 laps to go this time by at Grandview Speedway. Rico Abreu, a couple of slower cars to deal with as he rolls into turn 1. Brad Sweet 9/10 of a second back. Down the back straightaway, cars side by side in front of Abreu. Can Brad Sweet have a Hail Mary last lap here? White flag, 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go for Rico. Cheats the corner on exit. Or on entry. Brad Sweet down the back straightaway. Might have 1 last-ditch effort into turns 3 and 4. Abreu goes low. Sweet to the cushion. Off of turn number 4. Abreu's going to get the win. Brad Sweet ends up in 2nd. Christopher Bell 3rd. Macri 4th. And Reutzel ends up in 5th. $0.16 of a second at the line was the difference between Abreu and Sweet. And Rico's got his 4th win of the year. And back-to-back in the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series. Brad Sweet 2nd, Christopher Bell 3rd, Anthony Macri 4th, and 5th goes to Aaron Reutzel. Brent Marks, Spencer Bayston, Danny Dietrich, Tyler Courtney 25th to 9th, and Tanner Thorson ends up in 10th. Brock Zearfoss, Lucas Wolfe, Justin Peck, Chase Dietz, Danny Sams, Brenham Crouch, Chase Randall, Ryan Smith, Dason Pursley, and Ryan Newton the top 20. Then it was Cy Lynch, Casey Kahne, Ashton Torgerson, Tyler Ross, Ryan Taylor, and Corey Day. He has done it again. Win number 4 of 2025 with Kubota Highland Racing. He's going to climb up top after he gets the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series winner's hat, the Hoosier Tire neckband, and the Sunoco Race Fuels checkered flag. Make some noise for him, Grandview Speedway. Your winner tonight, Rico Abreu. And he is going to jump off the top of the wing and make his way around the front of the race car to talk with Tony Laporta.
He didn't even need Zach Middlebrooks. Rico Abreu jumps from the top rope for the 4th win of 2025. How's that one feel?
Just really proud of my team, man. Having Ricky Warner on the wrenches there and just making sure the ground clearance was good on this thing before the feature. And Brady and Zach, Brandon Boyce is here. We got Rich Marfloris in Victory Lane. Just thank you guys all for supporting Grandview Speedway. I knew this place was kind of iffy there for a minute and took on a high-limit race, and this place has been packed ever since.
Man, you talk about people supporting Grandview Speedway. Grandview Speedway supports you. You won here in 2023 with High Limit. You ran on the podium last year. You win again. What do you like about this place so much?
Just really the speeds. You know, the track rep, they do an amazing job, and the track changes throughout the race. So you got to really just process while you're racing and understand where cars are getting better. And, you know, lap cars were kind of moving on the bottom there, and I didn't want to leave 3 and 4 open towards the end, and I was struggling just following guys. You know, once I cleared the 9 there at the end, I could just really take off. And, you know, these guys just amazing the work they do to this race car to get it to feel comfortable. And just thankful for our partners for believing in us consistently. And another Whiskey Myers Victory Lane.
4 wins before Memorial Day. It was around this time last year that you and this team really began to hit your stride and start clicking off victories and stopping in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. I asked you once already at Lakeside. You weren't very happy, so I'll ask you now. How big of a threat is this team for the championship this season?
No, we just, you know, I know these guys got the ability to get us in position. It's just a matter of doing it consistently. So, you know, we got to stay consistent with this stuff, stay consistent with the balance when we unload. And that's why I got the best in the business working on my car.
You got the best in the business working on your car. You got Gus. Some say he's the best dog in sprint car racing. He's going to come in and join you here in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Hey, you already know this spiel. You've won 3 times already. Victory number 4, you get to send $1,000 of our Angel Donors money to any charity you want to support. Every time a high roller wins in 2025, they get to send $1,000 to a charity. Who are you supporting tonight?
You know, I'm going to stick with Jackson Superhero Foundation. The Hunt family, what they do for just muscular dystrophy and awareness is just pretty amazing. And thank you to the Angel Donor High Limit for putting this together to draw awareness to all these charities. So I'm going to match that $1,000. And I know a few of our partners are matching that. And we have this Win Warriors program that allows anybody to be a part of the Jackson Superhero Foundation. And it just drives awareness right around muscular dystrophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 4th time in 2025, Rico Abreu's your winner. He'll celebrate here in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane as he is presented with the Chasm Safety Technologies win sticker, as well as the new Chasm Safety Technologies win box. This is a big step up in the Chasm program. We want to thank them for continuing to support Kubota High Limit Racing. Rico gets the win sticker that'll go on the tail tank. He'll get the golden ticket. The more of those he amasses, the closer he gets to a full season sponsorship, as well as a lot of other goodies in that Chasm Safety Technologies win box. Chase Rodman, tell us about those contingencies tonight.
Yeah, our Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race ended up being Danny Sams III. He ended up in the 15th position here in this one. Our Jake's Golf Carts Fastest Lap Award does go to Christopher Bell. He ran a 12.128 second lap time, so Jake's Golf Carts Fastest Lap to Christopher Bell. And the Rod and Supply Hard Charger does indeed go to Tyler Courtney from 25th to 9th. It is plus 16 for him. So Rod and Supply Hard Charger to Tyler Courtney. Back to you, Tony.
Brad Sweet finishes in the 2nd position. Quite a bounce back after a 12th place run at Ransomville on Friday night. I'm sure that feels good, but how much fun was that race with the 69K of Christopher Bell? You guys were throwing elbows out there.
Yeah, it was weird. My car, you know, I kind of felt good at the beginning and paced Christopher and made a mistake in lap traffic and got over that cushion, but it's kind of dust and it kind of sucked me in. I couldn't get out of it and almost hit the wall. Luckily got out of that and was in 3rd there. Saw Rico kind of take off in lap traffic, and I didn't know how my car was going to develop through that, you know, the fuel run there, because it just had such a weird feel at the beginning, and then the track started to blow off, and kind of thought I was in trouble. And then really late in the race, all of a sudden it started to kind of come back to me. And I got back by Christopher and really started closing on Rico. And he kind of was struggling in the slick there a little. So I don't know. We're trying to figure out, why, the fuel run the way it went through and why it got so good at the end. Obviously that's a good thing, but maybe need to be better a little bit, earlier in the race. But either way, Napa Auto Parts car was fast. That was a lot of fun. This racetrack is so unique, and it changes throughout the race so much, and the lines change, and it gets slicker, and it really doesn't look that slick, but man, it is super slick out there. So a lot of fun. Can't thank the Grandview track prep crew enough, and all the fans for coming out and supporting Kubota High Limit Racing. Can't do it without you guys. So yeah, just excited to have a strong run. Obviously Rico's been killing it, so we got to step our game up, and yeah, hopefully we got 3 big nights at Port Royal, and just want to say hi to my wife and daughter back home.
We know you're excited to get to Port Royal. That second place finisher, Brad Sweet, here tonight in the Levan Machine and Truck Equipment, Rich Marr Florist, Kubota High Limit Racing at Grandview. Christopher Bell, it's lazy because I just asked Brad Sweet the same question, but I got to ask you, how much fun was that battle with the big cat and the number 49? You guys were all over each other, back and forth, it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a blast. Whenever you get a racetrack like that, you can move around. That's whenever sprint car racing is at its best. So I'll tell you what, it was really cool to see how good Rico got in the middle of the race there, and then Brad was really, really strong at the end. I can't thank the Kreitz boys enough for the opportunity to drive their car. It's really fun every time I get to run a sprint car for these guys, and it's a little bit disappointing to draw the front and not win, but these guys are the best in the business, and yeah, just happy to be here, happy to be driving. It's a ton of fun racing these things.
That's Christopher Bell, fresh off $1 million victory with the NASCAR Cup Series. He comes and fights it out with the best of the best at Kubota High Limit Racing.